Hi everyone, and welcome to the Hive Live post-match podcast after Barnet dispatched Yeovil Town 5-0 with 5 different goal scorers. You're listening to myself, Rory Edwards, and alongside me is Brian Matovu. We had the pleasure of commentating on the game today. Now, Brian, it's a brilliant win once again at Fortress Hive, and it all started with Ryan Glover against the Glovers.
Yep, Ryan Glover once again against the Glovers, opening the scoring. I mean, before that, it was very tame, nothing much had happened, but Barnet had all control, they had all the ball, and it just starts from the right-hand side. Ball comes past Idris Khan, who puts in a fantastic delivery in the box. Ben Coker, who connects with, heads the ball, so fantastic save from Aidan Stone, but Ryan Glover's right on hand to poke it home, and that opened the scoring, broke the deadlock, and really set Barnet in motion.
Yeah, it certainly did. Glover again, 8th goal of the season. We say it every single week, he's an incredible player. The athleticism he brings. Danny Collins was saying on the last post-match podcast that he's just been an absolute sensation this season, and there's no wonder he will be playing in the EFL next season.
Absolutely.
Let's hope it's with Barnet, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's a quality player. I mean, a lot of these players are proving that they can play in the EFL, play higher up because they've been brilliant. But Ryan Glover, like you said, has been fantastic the whole season. I mean, scored big goals, coming out big times, performed consistently well throughout the whole season. He's played multiple positions, can play in midfield, can play at left wing back. He's just a perfect model pro for Barnet, and he's been brilliant this year.
Certainly is. So he notched his 8th goal of the season, and the second goal didn't come too long after that. It was Callum Stead who was afforded way too much space in the box. We think it was a Ben Coker assist, right?
Yeah, it definitely was.
Ben Coker assist. Brilliant ball, wasn't it? Just exactly where it needed to be, and Callum Stead had the composure, and what form he's in at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ben Coker, like we said he's got a wonderful left foot because he has a fantastic delivery. He's got a lot of assists this season, Ben Coker, and we can see why. Gets the ball on the left hand side, picks out Callum Stead, who has a fantastic first touch with his right foot, sets him up, and then he buries it with his left foot. And Callum Stead was at 3 goals in his last 3 games, is really starting to get into form, and it's good with Callum Stead because we always talk about he's a perfect footballer and everything. It's just his finishing sometimes really lets him down, but recently he's been on form, he's finished his dinner, and at the right time he's come clutch for Barnet.
Certainly has finished his dinner recently, and number 3 came in the form of an Anthony Hartigan stunner. Now he scored his first goal of the season against York City from a similar position. Very similar. A free kick that just went straight past Harrison Mail, but this one felt a little bit more deliberate, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a short corner. Anthony Hartigan plays to Kenlock. Kenlock just sets him up, and it's set up so nicely that Hartigan, as soon as he touches the ball, the whip on it was fantastic, the pace was on it, the accuracy was on it. As soon as we saw him hit it, we could see it go into the top corner, and that's exactly what happened. And we know Hartigan possesses that delivery. Anytime he puts the ball into the box from any angle, it's going to be on a sixpence, and that's exactly what that was. But that looked like a shot. But given that his crossing is so perfect, it just goes into the right area, that hit the top corner, and what a goal that was.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that back on the replay. That was just before half-time, and Mark Cooper, you thought at half-time, you thought it's a bit of a tricky one, because it's like you come to Barnet, you come to the Hive, and teams know by now that they're unlikely to get anything from the Hive, but to be 3-0 down at half-time is not an ideal situation, is it?
Not at all. It must have been demoralising in the half-time. I'm sure the players would have known that 3-0 down, we're injury stricken, we're missing 3 to 4, 5 key plays, we're not really going to come back. The best we can do is draw/win the second half, and there was a moment in the second half where it looked like they may threaten and maybe get a goal, but it just wasn't there in the end, and Barnet just got their second goals, so 2 goals in the second half, and that really put the game to bed. The game was already in bed, but Barnet just knocked that door shut.
Well, you do wonder whether if Yeovil had some key players back, like Aaron Jarvis as well, you know, one of their most lethal goal scorers. Anuble put himself about, and don't get me wrong, he was decent, considering the relative lack of service that he had. But how much do you think the injury ravaged squad of Yeovil actually played into the result? Would it have been any different if Yeovil had a lot of their starters back?
I mean, listen, Barnet playing at home, they're always going to be the favourites, and I always back Barnet to beat any side in this division, whether you're full strength or not as full strength. But, I mean, it's easier for us to say that had Yeovil had their plays, it would have been a different result, but I think that's doing a bit of a disservice to Barnet how good they were. I mean, Barnet were missing Shelton and Reece Brown, who are also key players for Barnet. Obviously, they've got a much stronger squad than Yeovil, but I do think had Yeovil had a bit more of their key players. Potentially the scoreline would have been different, but I still think Barnet at home would have been definitely in the driving seat to win this game.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Mark Shelton, Reece Brown, no, not in the squad at all today. But the strength in depth, we go on about it. The strength in depth, the quality replacing quality, and you end up with a result like Barnet 5, Yeovil Town 0.
Absolutely.
Even without those two players.
Absolutely, that's exactly that. No Mark Shelton, no Reece Brown, Harry Chapman off the bench. I mean, he didn't even start the game today, and Dom Telfer coming off the bench, him scoring too. So it just shows you that Barnet have got a squad that can challenge, and there's players on the bench who would start for most teams in this division.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Corps twitched a few times for Yeovil in the second half. You know, as Barnet kind of took their foot off the gas, and you felt, because Dean Brennan's always been one for never taking your foot off the gas, really. But realistically, coming into this crucial stage of the season, the intensity levels that we've seen recently, we're always going to dip slightly. And Yeovil threatened on one or two occasions without having a really clear-cut opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural when you're 3-0 up, you're going to naturally take your foot off the gas. You know that you've played to a level where you know that we're 3-0 up. As if we don't collapse, we won't lose this game. And like you said, there was periods where Yeovil got into good positions, but they never ever forced Owen Evans to make any sort of save. I mean, they tried to press Owen Evans and he nutmegged Frank.
That was quite a moment,
which was quality, which was a really good moment. But like I said, Yeovil just never had the quality when they got into the final third and just never caused any sort of danger for Barnet.
Yeah, it was chalk and cheese really in the end.
Yeah.
And you know, unfortunately for Yeovil, they're a side in 11th place as well. We sort of neglected to mention actually on commentary that they're kind of in and around the playoffs. You know, like 6 points I think at the time off Altrincham, albeit Altrincham have a couple of games in hand over them, and they've picked up a brilliant result, which we'll get on to in a bit. Yeah. But yeah, Yeovil are by no means a bad side. They're just a little bit thin on the ground at the moment. Yeah,
they're not a bad side, but like you were saying, I mean, they were in fairly decent form, had won 2 of their last 3 games, but before that, they weren't in good form. They've got 2 wins in, I mean, now it's 13 games, so it just goes to show you that they're a side that haven't been in good form. They've struggled, but they coming into this game, they had 1, 2 of their last 3, so there was a bit of like, you know, maybe they could do a little something, but that wasn't to be. And Barnet were never going to let that happen tonight.
Well, exactly. And at the risk of flogging the cliche, you can only beat who's in front of you, right?
Absolutely.
And do that they did. Do that they did, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Now, the game threatened to peter out a little bit. There were 1 or 2 opportunities for the likes of Stead and even in Love before he was hooked. He was another good performer who was replaced with another quality player in Dom Telford. And it actually was Dom Telford who won the first penalty.
Yep, Dom Telford. It's just a good feat from Dom Telford. We've been saying that Dom Telford technically is really, really clean, and he's got the feet to trick defenders to get away, and that's what he does. He's in the box, has a good little feet, shimmies past the defender, he brings him down, stonewall penalty, referee gives it. And Harry Chapman, like we said, has had injury problems the whole season. He's shown his quality in parts, but hasn't had a consistent run. And what a moment for him to score at the high in front of the Barnet fans after so long out. It was a really good moment for him and really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, he came on for Zach Brunt, who didn't impact the game quite as much as, for example, Oldham, where he scored that brilliant goal. But to be able to bring on Harry Chapman in any club in this division, even in higher leagues, you just saw the quality. And we'll get on to the worldie that he almost scored. In fact, so obviously after calmly putting the ball into the back of the net from the penalty spot, he almost goes and scores an absolute worldie.
Yeah, honestly, the run was fantastic. I mean, he just picks the ball up and he's just scored. His confidence is riding high. He thinks, let me just go for it. Nothing to lose. We're 4-5-0 up. Just drives through Salalims past 3, 4, 5 defenders, and he's literally on the 6-yard line. I think the ball maybe just got ahead of him, and his toe poked it, and it's just gone wide. And it was so unfortunate because that would have been an amazing goal and would have capped off a brilliant cameo from him. Yeah,
agonisingly past the post. You were willing that ball into the bottom corner, but it just wasn't to be. But glimpses there of what we've been missing with Harry Chapman for sure. But it wasn't long after that. I mean, literally looking at the minutes, 4 minutes between the 2 penalties were scored. It was Dom Telford who had won the first penalty. It was Jordan Cropper won the second penalty, and Telford decided that he was going to take this one, and he's notched his 3rd goal of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He's good. Jordan Cropper, again, similar to Harry Chapman, just says, let me just go for it, just starts driving. And Jordan Cropper also can play midfield, so he's got the ability to drive forward, and it's a brilliant brilliant run. It did look, from here, we couldn't really see it clearly. It did look a bit dubious because the Yeovil players were angry it was given, but any contact, you get brought down, the referee's going to give in this day and age. And fair play to Dom Telford, he steps up, also sends the keeper the wrong way and puts Barnet 5-0 up.
It was Chapman-esque, wasn't it? I mean, both penalties were kind of identical, just different sides.
Just rolled the keeper the wrong way.
The keeper went the wrong way both times. Poor Aidan Stone had to pick the ball out of his net 5 different times. Now, we were going on commentary, we were looking at the other results, and, you know, obviously you can only focus on your own results at the end of the day, but in a title race as close and competitive as this, it's been some hell of a night, results-wise, for Barnet, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
York City have lost at home to Altrincham. A bogey side for them, as I was saying on comms. They haven't beaten Altrincham since 2010, and that run, that horrible run, has continued. And I mean, again, very early to say, but if it has derailed York's title push, then it's one hell of a blow for them.
I mean, yeah, York, they're already playing catch-up before tonight, and now it's looking like a mountain to climb. You know, 9 points. Of course, they still got that game in hand, which is against Rochdale, which will be by no means an easy game. But yeah, 9 points behind it is this stage of the season. What, 10, 11 games left. It will be difficult. Obviously, York won't give up, but Barnet have just got to focus forward. Don't look back. The Bible says, remember Lot's wife, she'll look back and she'll turn into dust. So you can't look back. Barnet, keep looking forward. And Barnet, no, it's in their hands now. You win every game. You win, like I said, you win, let's say, 8 out of your next 10 games, you will get promoted. So if Barnet keep looking forward, forget about York in behind, because York are looking further back. Maybe York should be looking at playoff seeding at this moment in time if they'll finish second or potentially third place. So fantastic result tonight for Barnet in terms of them winning and also York dropping points. But they can't focus on that now. Just keep the straight and narrow, win your games, and like you said, they will be in the EFL come May.
Well, to add insult to injury, actually, the Altrincham goals came from an own goal from Josh Stones, their big money signing, and the winner was scored by ex-Barnet Justin Amaluzor.
Wow.
Who actually, as I think I also mentioned on commentary, that he got a goal here for Altrincham. He scored and that was the goal. That was the goal that set off the fan in the B Army stand, which resulted in that famous post-match interview that Dean Brennan gave.
Yeah.
So yeah, Justin Amaluzor having a sort of Forrest Gump-esque sort of influence on Barnet's season. So yeah, that game finished York 1, Altrincham 2, and in regards to the table, obviously, as you say, a game in hand York still do have, but 9 points off. It is psychologically, that's going to be a big blow for them. Unless we forget, Forest Green have also lost, and you wonder whether that is going to be a bridge too far for them.
Oh yeah, I think so. I'm looking at it now. Forest Green are what, 12 points off Barnet. Of course, they've got a game in hand, but that reduced it to 9. They'd have to hope that Barnet would have to fall off a cliff for Forest Green to catch them. So I think Forest Green can start preparing for the playoffs and knowing that they'll be in that battle come the end of the season. But I think York, they're still there. They're clinging on. I mean, they've got to win every game now.
That game in hand is crucial for them now, isn't it?
There's no room for error at all. They've dropped too many points now, and Barnet aren't looking like they're going to drop any points. I mean, Barnet still have to face Alty, so York probably think, okay, Alty do a favour against Barnet. But I mean, Barnet are just full steam ahead at the moment, and they don't look like they're being stopped. Barnet don't concede any goals; they're just scoring goals for fun at the moment. So who's going to stop them?
18 goals in the last 5 games.
Yeah, crazy. And you saw the way Barnet dismantled York. I mean, Barnet showed that performance against anyone. Barnet will win the game, and they don't lose. Barnet haven't lost in 21 league games, so Barnet can drop points, but they definitely won't be losing.
Yeah. But they're averaging 3.6 goals a game.
Crazy.
Barnet. It's just incredible form. I mean, it's just incredible. I was listening to the B Brief, actually, the Kirk Raymond episode, and if anyone hasn't listened to that, they definitely should. Where he was saying that the boys actually, the squad scares him. Because they go into this mode, they go into this sort of like jungle mode, monster mode, essentially, where they're just so in the zone that they're scary to play against, and I can see that when they're on song.
Absolutely. It's like, I mean, it's the NBA. When Michael Jordan was playing, guys were scared of him. They feared him when he was on the basketball court, and that's what it feels like when Barnet are playing. Teams fear Barnet. We see it all the time. Teams are coming here playing 5 at the back, 6 at the back sometimes when they're defending, because they know that Barnet are a massive threat and you don't want to play them, especially at the Hive. Even at your home ground, they went to Rochdale 4-0, went to Oldham 3-0. These aren't easy places to go. Who's gone to Oldham and Rochdale and won 7-0 in aggregate? I'll wait. I don't think many teams have done that this season.
No, outstanding performances across the board, even without really getting into top gear.
Yeah.
Which is that's the scary part as well. You feel like, if needed, Barnet could have notched it up even further.
Yeah.
It's just terrifying, really.
Absolutely.
But extremely exciting. I mean, there was a debate. I think the debate will now rage on about whether this team is better than the 2015 side that Barnet had that went up under Martin Allen.
Yeah.
Things have changed. 10 years. Football's changed. The side that won this league 10 years ago got us back into League Two. Played very different football. It was often lumped up to John Akinde, and he just used his power, strength and pace to score about, 25, 30 goals in a season, most of them penalties, by the way. But it was good enough. And but this just Barnet just look another level at the moment. It's just frightening to watch them. As we say, though, extremely, extremely exhilarating at the same time.
Absolutely. I mean, they defend so well at the back, but going forward, the way they play the football so much different. It's more intricate. I guess that's how the game's changed. I mean, the pitch Barnet have now compared to what they had 10 years ago, very, very much, very, very different. Very good pitch they've got on here at the Hive. But honestly, it's a dream to watch. It's a joy to watch, and it's a fantastic Barnet team. I mean, it's a good comparison. It's conversations you want to have as a Barnet fan. What team was better, 2015 or 2025?
Well, they need to win it first.
Yeah, of course, you've got to win it first.
Let's make that abundantly clear.
Yeah.
They will only be possibly better than the 2015 side if they win the league.
Of course, you only be remembered if you win it, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Because I can already hear people screaming through the screen or listening to that and going, "We haven't won it yet."
Yeah,
100%, I agree.
Yeah, we're jumping the gun here.
We're totally jumping the gun, but it's difficult not to when you're 9 points clear at the top of the league with 10 games to go. Yeah. It's terrifically exciting when your title rivals are also dropping points and you win 5-0. You can't. It's very difficult not to get carried away. And it's fun to get carried away too.
It is fun.
It certainly is, but we'll try and keep it as rational as possible on the Hive Live post-match podcast. Okay, so it's advantage Barnet in this title race. 9 points clear still. Again, a game in hand to York Have and Forest Green as well, but they're in a great position. Next game then on Saturday, Dagenham and Redbridge. I mean, they're pretty much in free fall at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Dagenham, they've been poor this season. Like I said, the only wins come against bottom of the league, Ebbsfleet, which is not much to write home about, and they just can't win games. They've struggled. Although saying that, when Barnet did go there in Dagenham, it was a tough game. It was down 1-0 early on, equalised, and down 2-1, and it was a difficult game if we're thinking about it. So we know Dagenham aren't going to be easy side, and like you said, a team at the bottom, nothing to play with. Not near enough the bottom anyway, nothing to play for. So you'd think they'd show up a bit of a fight, but it's at the Hive. This is a place where Barnet don't lose, Fortress Hive, and I cannot even see any chance.
Oh, this is going to be a soundbite. This is going to be a soundbite.
Clip it up.
Don't say anything.
I can guarantee Dagenham will not win this game.
Oh dear.
They will not win this game.
Dear.
Let's just be honest. They're not going to win this game.
Oh dear.
They said they will get a point.
Yeah.
Dagenham will not win this game.
No, the thing is, I've seen plenty of dry, cynical comments, again mentioned on commentary, from some Barnet fans saying it would be the most typically Barnet thing to do.
It wouldn't even be
to lose this incredible unbeaten run to a side like Dagenham in complete free fall, and that are so chaotic behind the scenes, etc. So I mean, fingers crossed, please God, as Dean Brennan likes to say, that doesn't happen. No signs of complacency here. Dispatch Yeovil, who could have been another banana skin, 5-0 here with ease. So brilliant result. Let's hope that continues on Saturday. Of course, kids for £1 and tickets for £5. If you aren't able to make the game, make sure you tune into Hive Live Radio. We'll be on YouTube and DAZN as well. Just looking at the fixture list then as well. So the games remaining, as we mentioned, Dagenham and Redbridge, Woking away. It's always been a historically tricky one. Altrincham,
that's a tough one.
Who beat York today. Yeah,
and they also obviously different change side, but when they're in the FA Trophy, lost there. And Alty, they're in good form at the moment. They're fighting for that last playoff spot, and they look good. It'll be a tough game.
Yeah, although they did lose at home to AFC Fylde, so there is that. Clearly true. Beatable.
Every team in this division is beatable.
You're
a Barnet fan.
Yeah, so to go the rest of the season unbeaten, I've heard plenty of Beast fans saying things like, we will drop points, like we will lose games until the... But there's no sign of that actually happening. There's just an assumption that that's going to happen, and it may well happen. But the assumption hasn't really come true thus far. The signs aren't really there.
Yeah, they're not there. But I mean, always, if Barnet were to wrap up the league, let's say with 3 games left, I mean, you think that
Chance would be a fine thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will be a fine thing. But listen, Barnet from now was 10 games left. If Barnet went on a 10-game winning run to end the season, I mean, that will go up.
All right, ifs and buts and
yeah, of course, ifs and buts.
I think we'll leave the fantasies to the fans.
Yeah.
To all the fans. So after all, it's Gateshead at home. Gateshead have always been a historically tough nut for Dean Brennan to crack. I think the last result was 2-0 here to Gateshead. So it'd be great to break that duck. Braintree away. Braintree, look, they beat Forest Green. They're a really tricky side, and you would hope that agent John Akinde might be able to help out there. Jermaine Francis as well is on loan there. Barnet also at home to Wealdstone. After that, game. Eastleigh at home, Sutton away again, tricky. They were one of the few sides to come away with them, and very nearly came away with all 3.
Yeah, arguably they're probably looking at that game thinking Barnet. Well, lucky.
Revenge. Yeah, revenge. So, hopefully there's not too much riding on that one come the 21st of April. And then Aldershot at home, and the season obviously completes with Fylde away. You would hope that there might be some promotion party happening in Blackpool, but you don't want to speak too soon. No one's going to get carried away in the squad. Dean Brennan will make sure of that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, one game at a time. Every game in the National League is tough. I mean, Barnet are making it seem as if it's easy, but
no easy games. Dean Brennan
no easy games. Every game in the National League is tough, but Barnet continue this form. Like I said, Barnet are in pole position now. I mean, it would be a collapse. It would be a travesty if they didn't go up as champions, as it looks at this moment in time. But the job's not done. As Kobe Bryant said, job is not done.
Job's certainly not done. 10 more cup finals to go, and we'll be here for. Well, you'll be here for almost all of them.
Yeah, I'll be here for all of them. Yeah.
Gateshead, I don't think you're here for.
I'm here for Gateshead. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, you are coming to Gateshead?
Yeah, I'm going to Gateshead.
Okay, so there we go. Breaking news, Brian is going to be here.
Oh, well, I've got to be here for the journey.
Yeah, cancel whatever you had, man, definitely. So we'll be there for that, and we hope you can join us as well. If you're not at the game, wherever you may be, we've got plenty of global listeners, which is amazing to hear. We love to hear where you're listening from. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Tweet us at Hive Live Radio. We'll retweet any comments and opinions on the game. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. Once again, Barnet 5, Yeovil Town 0, which just sounds so great to say.
Fantastic performance, and see you all soon.
Yeah, I've been Rory Edwards, and alongside me, Brian Matovu. We will see you very soon.